Let's stay with sport a little longer. Much like most who watched it unfold, an Independent Judicial Committee appointed by World Rugby has decided French fullback Benjamin Fall was treated too harshly when he was sent off in Saturday night's second test against the All Blacks in Wellington. Now, Fall was sent off in the 11th minute of the match, helping the All Blacks to a 26-13 victory, which has sealed the series ahead of the third and final test in Dunedin this weekend. It just killed the game dead, really. The atmosphere went as flat as a pancake. But just a couple of hours ago, World Rugby confirmed Fall's red card had been cancelled and removed from his playing record. Sports reporter Clay Wilson is beside me in the studio to discuss this. Nice to have you with us, Clay. What has World Rugby said about why they've made this decision?
Well, I think, like you mentioned there, common sense has perhaps prevailed here, and like most thought, World Rugby, the Independent Committee has said that the decision was too harsh, that Fall didn't have any intent. His eyes were clearly on the ball the whole time. They also mentioned the contact he made with Anton Lienert-Brown, the All Black centre.
The contact Anton Lienert-Brown made with him, I think, more pointedly, right?
Yeah.
Anton gave him a little bit of a push.
Yeah, so they've certainly taken that into account, and they've come to the decision that most actually saw there on Saturday night, that the contact wasn't intentional, wasn't deliberate or reckless. They just said accidental contact. So Fall's had his red card cancelled. He's free to play this weekend. Of course, Beauden Barrett has suffered concussion and he's in doubt to play, but very much an accident is what World Rugby is saying.
Boy, this is an issue, isn't it? Because the head and neck must be protected, full stop, end of story. And it was a nasty old fall for Beauden Barrett. It was awful to watch. But Benjamin Fall didn't do it deliberately. So what's World Rugby saying about Angus Gardner, the referee, and what he did, the decision he made on the night? Yeah,
they're saying any criticism of Gardner is not warranted. Obviously, he did come in for a lot of criticism, but basically, I think a lot of people really believe that he was just refereeing to the law, and that perhaps it's the law that needs to come in for a bit of revision.
And the
here.
law's really clear, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you impact or threaten the head or neck, see ya.
There's obviously an increasing focus on head injuries, concussion, and high tackles, and high going for high balls, and these things of these natures. So that they've basically said any sort of criticism of Gardner isn't warranted. They have multiple angles. They can watch 1,000 times. He makes a decision within the space of a couple of minutes based on one or two replays he sees on a big screen. So they're saying, although he got the decision wrong, they acknowledge that he shouldn't really come in for any criticism from their point of view.
Yeah, it was a funny old game, and it got even funnier when Fall went off after, what was it, 11 or 12 minutes. Steve Hansen actually effectively said that it sort of killed the game dead. It's interesting, the All Blacks are galvanised by the size of the challenge, right? And once the French were reduced to 14 men, the All Blacks their minds were wandering. I don't know what they were thinking about, but it wasn't the game. What's Steve Hansen's take on all of this?
Well, Steve Hansen came out straight after the game and agreed that it was too harsh, and said that it basically killed the game. I agree with what a lot of the fans were saying. And Ben Smith has been up, and Sam Cane talking to media today. And Ben Smith's obviously someone who kicks a lot of these high balls and jumps for a lot of them. So he's someone who's a bit of an expert in this area. And he definitely agreed. And he was asked if they think they should perhaps revisit some of these laws. And he certainly admitted that they should be doing that, perhaps revisiting it. He says that, you're making split-second decisions and coming towards someone. So they're certainly putting a focus on it within the All Blacks, the back three players, whether to go for a ball, whether to pull out, because the punishments are pretty harsh if you get things wrong.
Yeah. Clay Wilson, thank you so much. With the latest World Rugby saying that red card doesn't stand. Really appreciate it, Clay, in the studio here with us in Auckland.